The most haunted places in Europe. Did you know that Europe is home to some of the oldest continuously inhabited castles and forests in the world? And yet many visitors report experiencing unexplained chills, ghostly whispers, or even vanishing time. When history spans centuries, folklore fills the gaps, and sometimes those gaps wedge themselves into your reality without warning. Today we're exploring the most haunted places in Europe, sites where legend meets limbo, and the past may literally walk through the walls. Whether you're a skeptic, a thrill seeker, or just curious about the eerie corners of the continent, this journey will test what you believe and maybe what you fear. Hauska Castle, Czech Republic. Hauska Castle looks like your average medieval fortress from the outside, but legend says it was built specifically to seal a hole that locals believed led straight to hell. No joke, the castle has no strategic purpose, and its original construction was entirely focused around the chapel built directly over this gateway. Inside, the air is thick with something unexplainable. Stories tell of winged creatures emerging from the pit, ghostly figures walking the halls, and even Nazi occult experiments during World War II. It is not uncommon for visitors to report sudden dizziness, unexplained nausea, or intense anxiety near the chapel. While the location is open for tours, it's not exactly a feel-good day trip. Think twice before wandering off the designated path or standing too long near the sealed floor. Hoibașu Forest, Romania. This is not just any creepy forest. Hoibașu, sometimes called the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, is infamous for bizarre sightings, disembodied voices, and mysterious lights. It has an eerie atmosphere in broad daylight. Trees are unnaturally bent, twisted in patterns that almost feel intentional, like the forest itself is reacting to something unseen. People have reported everything from time lapses and nausea to malfunctioning electronics and even feelings of being watched by something just out of sight. It's easy to get lost here, not just physically but mentally too. If you visit, stay on trails, go with a guide, and keep your mind sharp. This is not a place for spontaneous hiking or solo exploration, unless you are hoping to star in your own unsolved mystery. Bran Castle, Romania. Often promoted as Dracula's castle, Bran Castle has a darker history than most vampire lore. Though the real Vlad the Impaler may not have lived here, the energy inside tells a different story. Visitors talk of hearing footsteps in empty corridors, cold drafts in sealed rooms, and an overwhelming sense of being watched, especially near the narrow stone staircases that seem to echo with memories. The castle is cold, old, and incredibly atmospheric, making it easy for the mind to play tricks. But when multiple people hear the same voice in the same hallway, or doors slam on windless days, it becomes harder to write off as coincidence. It is a breathtaking landmark, but one that doesn't let you forget its past or its lingering spirits. The Paris Catacombs, France. Beneath Paris lies a labyrinth of tunnels filled with the bones of over 6 million people. The catacombs are haunting not just because of what you see, but because of what you feel. The deeper you go, the heavier the atmosphere becomes, almost as if the air itself remembers the dead. People have claimed to hear whispers in the darkness, feel hands brush against them, and see figures vanish into shadows. Some who wander off the official path have never been found. The catacombs aren't just a historical site. They are a monument to mortality, loss, and, some say, unfinished business. If you're planning a visit, stay with the group, keep your flashlight close, and don't ignore that uneasy feeling crawling up your spine. It might be telling you something. Edinburgh Vaults, Scotland. Beneath the cobblestone streets of Edinburgh lies a network of vaults that once housed the city's outcasts, criminals, the poor, and the unwanted. Today, it is one of the most haunted locations in the UK. Visitors report extreme temperature drops, sudden nausea, and even fainting spells while inside. The vaults are pitch black, with rough stone walls and ceilings that seem to close in on you. Tour guides have countless stories of ghost sightings, shadowy figures that follow groups, and even guests being scratched or pushed by invisible hands. This is not your average haunted house. There is a weight to the silence here, a tension that builds the longer you stay. It's no wonder many tour groups don't stay in the deeper vaults for long. Poveglia Island, Italy. Often called the most haunted island in the world, Poveglia sits abandoned in the Venetian lagoon, inaccessible without special permission. It has served as a quarantine zone, a mass grave during the plague, and later an asylum with horrific rumors of experiments and patient abuse. The island is said to be so cursed that even fishermen avoid sailing too close. Bones still wash ashore, and the soil is said to be 50% human ash. Those few who have illegally ventured there report screams from empty buildings, shadowy figures that dart between the ruins, and an overwhelming feeling of being unwelcome. It's not just spooky, it's oppressive. If you're planning a thrill-seeking adventure, steer clear unless you're ready to bring something back with you. Borgatnet Vicarage, Sweden. This quiet-looking parsonage in northern Sweden has a reputation that belies its peaceful facade. Built in the 1800s, it became known for unexplained activity starting in the 1920s, furniture moving by itself, ghostly figures appearing in photographs, and voices echoing in empty rooms. One of the most famous reports involves people feeling like they're being held down in bed, unable to move. Despite all this, brave visitors can book a night stay. Yes, they'll even give you a certificate if you last until morning. But be warned, many who tried didn't make it past midnight. If you do plan a night at Borgatnet, bring layers, backup lighting, and maybe your most grounded friend. This is one overnight stay you won't forget if you sleep at all. Château de Brissac, known as the tallest castle in France, Château de Brissac is as luxurious as it is haunted. The most famous ghost is the Green Lady, believed to be the spirit of a noblewoman murdered by her husband after he caught her in an affair. Her spirit reportedly roams the halls, her face grotesquely mutilated, emitting moans that echo through the tower she once lived in. The current owners still reside in the castle and are well aware of her presence. Guests have reported cold spots, doors opening on their own, and that unmistakable feeling of not being alone. Despite its beauty, there's a gloom to Brissac that even its opulence can't mask. If you go, take a deep breath before entering. You're stepping into a very personal haunting. Ancient Ram in England. This seemingly quaint old inn in Gloucestershire has been dubbed one of the most haunted buildings in all of England. Built on pagan burial grounds and allegedly used for devil worship in the past, the inn is filled with terrifying reports, screaming children, spectral monks, and even ghostly assaults. Guests talk of waking up to pressure on their chests, being yanked from bed, and feeling icy fingers on their skin. The atmosphere is so intense that paranormal investigators often leave halfway through the night. Staying here is not for the faint of heart. It's less about ghosts popping out and more about a deep spiritual unease that sits with you long after you leave. Muschum Castle, Austria. Nicknamed the Witch's Castle, Muschum is infamous for its brutal witch trials in the 1600s. Hundreds were tortured and executed on the grounds, and it's said the castle absorbed every scream. Today, guests report hearing chains drag across the floors, footsteps in empty halls, and sudden drops in temperature even during summer. Some say they've seen full-bodied apparitions or been touched by unseen hands. Muschum carries a legacy of cruelty that has never fully left, making it one of Europe's most disturbing destinations. If you are sensitive to energy or easily shaken, this is one site you might want to admire from a distance. Europe's haunted places aren't just about legends or cheap thrills. They're woven into centuries of war, plague, betrayal, and pain. These walls have seen things we can only imagine, or maybe relive if we dare step inside. If this video sent a chill down your spine or sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who loves the paranormal. Let us know in the comments which haunted place you'd be brave enough to visit, or which one you never set foot in, even in daylight. And remember, some doors are closed for a reason. Open them wisely.